Thank you for joining us tonight. So, yes, interestingly, 2 weeks ago, as you may recall, I interviewed Kevin Rimple, and it was interesting, to say the least. And I didn't actually think about doing any more interviews. And then you see this little guy that's which way am I pointing? I can't even point right way now. I don't know.
It's one of them.
In reverse. Yeah, you, James, you. What do you call it? So James contacted me, and he was like, "I would like to come on your show," and I'm like, "I have a show." So yeah, apparently I've got a show now. So, guys, first of all, can you all hear me? And do we sound good? Do we look good? Okay, James is looking better than me.
We look as good as we can.
That's it. So, thank you for joining us all. Look at all you beautiful people. Ah. So this is my good friend, James Perdue, the Professor of Perseverance. And I'm going to actually let him talk about himself, but let me just see. Guys, would you do me a favor? Could you tweet the link to the live out for me? I would very much appreciate it, because obviously I need the practice, because I'm terrible at doing this. So it's all good. So yeah, if you haven't met James before, his links are below, and he is the Professor of Perseverance. And I'm just going to say hello to everybody in the chat, James, before I let you go mad. Is that all right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, so who we got in? Let's have a look. We got Shani in, who I've just called Sarni because my spell check didn't work. We've got Des. We've got my email just went off. Dee! You all right, buddy? John. John's laughing at me already because he's like, later on, he's going to be like, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. Anyway.
It's okay, because then you can build on and get better.
That's it. That's the plan of action, buddy. That's the whole point of speaking for you too, isn't it? You know? So
that's right.
All right, we got Shani, we got Ma. Right. Anyway, everybody else. Prev's in. Hey, Prev. It's good to see you, pal. Who else we got? Nomad's in. Kyle's in. Oh my God, DC's in. Oh wow, lots of people. Hello. Did I say hi to Kay? Hi, Kay. All right. Anyway.
Hey,
happy
trail hiking. Thank you for putting my link up there. Thank you.
Ah, awesome. Right. Anyway, enough of me rattling. How's about you tell everybody about you, James?
Hey, everybody. Rachel, thank you for having me here. I'll do the best I can to make you look good. But if you don't look good, it's not my fault. It's not my fault either. So, hey, just a quick input. I'm one of them that wanted to be a professional athlete when I grew up, wanted to be a baseball player. My mom was a single mom most of her life. My dad died when I was 16, but he was my stepdad. She remarried when I was like 6 years old. And so he died when I was 16. So I had to grow up pretty quick and everything like that. And not to say we were the poorest people in town, but there were times where we had a leak in the house, in the roof. And at 16, I had to go to the top of the roof, try to find the leak and fix it. In wintertime, sometimes our pipes would freeze, and 14 degrees, I'm the one that's underneath the house trying to fix the pipes. So we have water in wintertime. And of course, the mechanics and everything, the mechanic for the automobiles. But I wanted to be able to provide for my mom and my brothers and things. So, y'all heard of those, used to be what's called a mailed order bride. I wanted to get one of those mail ordered grooms for my mom and kind of y'all get that? Let me see, a little nudge, joke. What is that? LOL? Is that how they do that? Yep. So get her, mail order bride and get her new home and everything. So she had to worry about the roof and the pipe stuff. So I was 2 weeks into college on a baseball scholarship. And while I got to play one college game, and I was the only freshman that started, the very next day, a bunch of people on campus wanted to play football. We were playing tackle, but we didn't have any helmets on, no pads or anything like that, but we were playing tackle. Well, I'd been out there maybe like 2 hours, and my team got the ball back, and I told my group, I said, hey, I'm done playing, been out here for a while, I need to get my stuff ready for school class next day. So I left the huddle. I got maybe 10 feet away from the huddle and heard someone say, we need someone to run the ball. I stopped and turned around and went back to the huddle, and I told him, I said, all right, I'll come back for one more play. Now, hint, this is a cheap advertisement plug. That's the name of my book, One More Play. So one more play, I come back for. They hand the ball off to me. I bust through the line, end up scoring a touchdown. As I was putting the ball down at the end zone, turning back towards everyone, I saw something in my peripheral vision. I have no idea what it was. You saw something. Again, remember, the play is dead. It's over. I scored a touchdown, put the ball down, saw something from here. I felt contact at my shoulder, and then I heard a loud pop. We both went to the ground. And on that day, only one of us returned to our feet. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me. I was paralyzed instantly, and I knew it.
See, guys, that's one hell of a story right there. You know what I mean? So it was like me and James were chatting, and I was like, "Yeah, we've got to do this. We have to do this as we have to do this as a live, just out of the interest." So, to take a step further from that, James, now you're obviously professor of perseverance. Is what you've learned from that and got you into speaking, didn't it? So,
well, another part of what got me into speaking, those things very beginning, I was told I would never walk again, possibly not move from my neck down. My family was advised to put me in a nursing home. I never get any better, and too much of a burden for them. Fortunately, again, we were all hard-headed. We didn't listen to the doctor, and we came home and did our own physical therapy, our own occupational therapy, our own workouts and everything like that. And again, I guess the doctors were right when they said I'll never walk again. I mean, because we were able to get me to stand on my own. I could walk with a walker for about 10 minutes. So I made a liar out of them for 10 minutes. It's the other 23 hours and 50 minutes they were correct. And so, so then just went on to college, got a degree. Of course, everybody knows when I went to high school, I didn't go to make good grades. I just kept the grade just enough to stay eligible to play ball. And so now when people hear that I have a doctoral degree, they're just still surprised that I have one. And so it's kind of funny. So we use that as the doctor, as a professor of perseverance, because I just believe you have two choices in life. You know, I've had other people come up to me and say, I couldn't do what you're doing. I said, well, one, you don't know if you can because you're not put in a situation. You know, when you put into it, you'll find out how strong you really are. Okay. But then I said, well, you know, I got two choices. One, I could have easily laid in bed, have someone feed me all day long, change the TVs for me, you know, and just do that. I mean, some people take that route. Some people do it because that's the way it has to be. They have no control over it. But there's other people that make that decision. So I could have easily done that, or could have took the hard route and do it the way we did it. We decided to go the hard route.
I don't know. I think it seems more fun when you go the hard route. You know, it's much more of an adventure.
More of a venture. And again, you find out how strong you really are in life when things are put your way. You find out how bad you really want things as well.
Yep. I mean, because when we've been talking as well, like you were saying, so it wasn't just like your legs, but like obviously being able to just to stand and hold yourself is brilliant. But you said you had trouble with your arms as well, didn't you? A little bit, or lesser now, but more before you were.
Before I got hurt, I couldn't move from my neck down. And so after surgery, then I was able to move my arms and hands. I'm still, fingers are still paralyzed, triceps, wrist, things like that are still paralyzed. But yeah, things are still, it's nowhere near as bad as it could be.
Yeah, any movement is good movement.
That's
know?
right.
You remember Liam, the guy? So guys in the chat, one of my friends from the para ice hockey team, for all of you that know that I play para ice hockey with several disabled guys and amputees and stuff like that. I've been telling James about one particular guy, and he's just had a neurological brain disorder. It wasn't a stroke, it was actually a neurological brain disorder on the ice with us. As you can imagine, we all pooped his pants and we moved as fast as we could to get him in an ambulance and etc. And me and James have been discussing, you know, like the problem with my body is that it takes away movement in his body like a stroke. So if they're not strokes, they're pretty damn close. And we were just relating to that, weren't we, buddy? Just saying, you know, like he's just got movement back in the top of his arm again now. So his arms are fully working again, or just about fully working again, which is just, you know, amazing. So, okay. So shall we move on to your actual speaking then? Is it just because obviously I've watched a lot of the your YouTube videos, but are you're going to places, and obviously you've got a website as well? Plug the website.
Sure.
To get you out there and stuff. And oh, that's the point. Sorry guys. Hi Yankee. I totally forgot Yankee. If you're watching, hey buddy. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, tell us more about the speaking side of things for you.
Well, let me tell you how I got into the speaking thing. Actually, what happened is about 10 years ago, my younger brother, and this is a story I put out there before. My younger brother, he was an alcoholic. He was a functional alcoholic. He'd work all day, but then he'd come drink all night. But he'd get up next morning to go, no matter how hungover he was, he'd go drink. Well, he got to a point where he looked bad. And so we got him to the doctors in the hospital, and they told him if he continued drinking the way he was, they gave him a 10% chance of living only 5 more years. So we're trying to help him get through that. Well, at that time, when he was in hospital, they found out he had a bleeding ulcer in his stomach and had a hernia. And they told him being an automobile mechanic, do not lift anything heavy. So he didn't tear the ulcer, didn't tear the hernia, do not lift anything heavy. Well, one night after all that took place with him, I couldn't get in bed. Something was wrong. I couldn't get into bed by myself, so I needed help. And he came to help me in bed. Well, that same night, he died. And I felt responsible for his death, that if I could have got in bed, he might still be here. And so it set me on a suicide mission. I attempted about 4 or 5 months later, I attempted suicide 3 times in 3 days. That's how bad I wanted out, because I felt like, again, if I could have gotten in bed, he would still be alive. And so then, guys, y'all know, if you live through a suicide attempt, they make you see a psychiatrist. Can you believe it? They make you see a psychiatrist. And so, so during that is when my psychologist I was actually seeing told me that I had a story. I need to get out and speak and help other people. And so that's how my speaking has opened up to do.
Isn't it incredible how you go from one extreme to the other?
Oh, exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, even when you're on the mountain up there, there's still something can go wrong and take you all the way back down.
Yep.
I mean, if you think you're going to live on that mountain forever and nothing's going to happen, you're just misrepresenting anything of your own self.
Totally, buddy. Totally. That's it is. See guys, how I pull all the amazing people with epic like life stories into my live stream. I don't know how I do it, but you know, I'm gonna keep trying. Hey Jimmy C, thank you for joining us, buddy. Damn it, I was gonna say something then and I've totally forgot it now. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. So then, Dr. James, actually, where would you like to take your speaking if you could? Like, how big do you want to get it? How, how many people would you love to hear you, and etc. and stuff like that?
Hey, let me go back to the doctor thing. My doctor is not the kind that I can write out prescriptions, but I can drive you to the store and pick them up for you. So my doctorate's in education. So let me tell you, that's even evolved in a different route now. I used to want to travel and get out as much as I can to see everything, to help other people as much as possible. But now, since I've been on YouTube, I can get my message out just as much without all the hard work of getting in and out of an airplane and in and out of a hospital. I mean, hotel rooms. And so, if something comes along and we can work out an arrangement, a deal, a contract, I have no problem going. But I feel like now, with the internet, I get my message out just as much and not having to work as hard to get to places.
Yeah. It's exactly that. There is, as my own dad keeps telling me, there's a magic box in your bedroom. Use it to your full ability, and I totally can't blame you for that. So good for you, buddy. Definitely. Hang on a minute. Ooh, okay. What have you done between, obviously the accident for you was quite a while back now, wasn't it? But what have you done between then and now? Obviously, like you said, suicide attempts are, so tell us about the then to now. What has got you through it? What's kept you going? What's influenced you to keep going?
The first 5 years of my injury, I went to 18 different rehabs trying to find that cure to walk. We were going somewhere every 3 months or every 6 months, in 5 years to 18 places to find that cure. And finally, I started thinking, if you really want to have a life, and here's why I was lying to myself and lied to everybody. I said, not that I'm giving up trying to walk. I need to put it on the back burner, and I need to go to school and get an education to help me, to be able to sustain life and to get out and do things. And so I said, not that I'm quitting, but we're putting it on the back burner. Well, that's where I lied to myself and lied to everybody, to my family and everything, because essentially that's when I quit trying, because I hadn't been to a rehab, I don't think, since then. I can't remember, to actually try to walk. It's just what we had built up and did. But in between there was first 5 years trying to find a cure. Then after that, went to college. Then actually took me 3 years to get a teaching job. People, I guess, didn't think people in wheelchairs could do that. And after I got my master's degree, I got hired. And then I taught for about 14 years in 7th grade science and coached our 7th and 8th grade girls basketball team. And you can see one of our, this one here. You can see one of my state championship ball where we won the state. And so that was fun for a while. And then it was time for it. And then, of course, when you attempt suicide, your people don't think you're competent to be in a classroom anymore. And so it was time for me to move on. So.
Yeah, they suddenly take a little bit of a step back from you then, don't they, I would imagine?
Well, it's not the kids and everything, because I don't even know if the kids even knew anything about it, but it's the people of higher education that's not even in the school building. It's your Board of Education people. And it may be some law, their rule they have, I don't know. But if you live through one, then they remove you out of the classroom and put you in something else. And that wasn't for me. If I wasn't in the classroom, I don't care to be there. And so that's when my psychologist says that I had a story, and that's when I got started into going to Toastmasters and signed up for the Teachers Speaking Association in my area and learning to be able to get out there and speak more.
Awesome, buddy. Awesome. It's always something that I've been fascinated about, actually. Like I said, I'm not very good at presenting stuff, as most of the people in the chat will know, but I'll try my best. But I'm just curious. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm just going to answer Nomad's question first. Rachel Rawson, do you help others one-on-one or as a group? I didn't know that I was the helper here. See the doctor that's next to me? The doctor that's we're talking to. He's the guy that's like, he's the helper. I don't know. I think I'm just the I'm the person that brings them to you, maybe. I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat. Do you find them that, like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, really. Do you help others? I love to help others. I play sledge hockey. Damn it, come on. Oh, that's a point as well. And Kay's just put classroom work isn't for everybody. Definitely not for Kay anymore. So let's have a look what everybody else is. But guys, if you have any questions as well, feel free to ask away, and I'll bang them on the screen for James to go mad. A question for Doctor. Oh, sorry, Nomad, I'm an idiot. Right, that makes sense. So sorry, James, I'm a complete idiot. That question was for you. So do you help people one-on-one?
Well, you're not an idiot. You're doing great. So
thanks. I just read it wrong.
And I mean, I understand jokingly you going, I'm the idiot, but isn't it amazing? You look back and we're always harder on ourselves than anybody else can be on us. That's our nature of wanting to self-improve, I guess. I mean, I've met other people. They won't take criticism from anybody, and they sure won't criticize themselves, where they think they're so much beyond everybody else. But there's times that we seem to be hard on ourselves. than anybody could ever do for us. But to get back to the question, yes, I've never really, I mean, I've done one-on-one talking to people, like a friend that I met this one guy when I was out walking my service dog, and he told me that he had a friend that had broken his neck falling off a ladder and said he was just suicidal and asked could I talk to him. So I've spoke to several people one-on-one just to help encourage them from there. But I guess most of my stuff is groups that to go and speak to. So
exactly that. I think, like you said earlier on, with it just being able to put it on YouTube as well, you can get it out to as many people as possible, can't you?
That's right. And again, I don't have to fight the airplanes and everything like that. So.
Very true. Speaking of which, I actually put on my sheet of paper to ask you, tell us more about your dog.
Ricardo. See if he'll come in here. We'll get him on here if we
do it.
Peek of him. Ricardo, come here, buddy. But he's my service dog, and he's my first service dog. Ricardo, come here, boy. And he is what we call the man. Okay, he steals the show every chance to get. Ricardo, come here, buddy. Come here. They want to see you. Come here. You want to get up here? Up. There you go. Oh, there you are right there, Ricardo. Hey, say hello to everybody. Say hello. Oh, you do better than that. Say hello. Good boy. So
that's why I have the dogging, guys.
Yeah, he is the man and everything like that. He'll steal the show. He actually has 5 children's books about him. And one of his book is called Can My Son Pet Your Dog? We were at Walmart here in Gallatin, where I live. And a woman come up and said, can my son pet your dog? And he was in the buggy. So I had Ricardo get in my lap like he just did then. And the boy reached over and pet Ricardo and everything. Then all of a sudden the boy pointed and says, dog, at Ricardo. And I said, cool, buddy. Thank you, man. I put Ricardo down. Then I looked over beside me and mother was crying. And I thought, man, Ricardo must have bit him or something when I wasn't paying attention. I apologized. I didn't know Ricardo did. Sorry for that, ma'am, to get you crying. And she goes, no, you don't understand. My son is autistic. And that's the first word I heard him say. And the boy had to be 4 or 5 years old. And the boy had to be 4 or 5 years old. And she said, that's the first word I heard him say. And Ricardo's a miracle worker.
Ricardo's got a side career in speaking too.
That's right. There you go. That's right.
Love it. I love it. There we go. Hang on a minute. That was what's Claire said. Furry friends. Love it. Okay. That's awesome. Do you want to tell people, just because while I've got it in my brain, do you want to tell people where they can get your book or have a look at any of your site, your Facebook? Plug away, buddy. Plug away.
Sure, plug away. Well, let me make it a little easy on you. My website is professorofperseverance.com. My Instagram, Professor of Perseverance. No, wait, that's James. That's too long. I think it's James P. Speaks.
Which one?
No, it is Professor of Perseverance. That's Instagram. It is Professor of Perseverance. And then Facebook, Professor of Perseverance. So I try to make it easy. And I'm starting a podcast starting next week. And it's the Professor of Perseverance podcast. So that to make it easy on everybody, and easier on me to remember.
I remember you've tweeted that out on Twitter as well. What is your Twitter handle, by the way, just so people can...
that one is at James P. Speaks.
Let me put that in the chat, guys.
Yeah,
so
it wouldn't let me put the whole Professor of Perseverance in that one.
Rubbish. You want to do what Casey Neistat does? Just give him a quick call and be like, yo, guys, can I change my name to just Casey, please?
There you go.
James P. Speaks. There we go. Okay, Shani, I've just asked us a question as well. So what are some of the tools that Dr. James uses to help him stay motivated to inspire others when it comes to his health?
Oh, good question. And his health just got back from the doctor, rushing to get back here in time today.
Okay. I messed up.
No, we're in good shape and everything. So I told Rachel, I said, I only live 12 minutes away from where my doctor's office is. So yeah, I got here in 8 minutes to make sure we're here on today. To me, my motivation, I get it from again, I tell other people, stay off the news as much as possible. They're so daggum negative. They'll give you 45 minutes of something negative, then they give you a minute and a half of something inspirational. They think they're doing good, so I try to stay away from that. I know I got to get some insight to stay, plugged in what's going on during the day and everything. But my main thing is I'll go to videos, YouTubes, to watch motivational speeches, motivational songs, hear someone such as myself just give a motivational speech. So it doesn't have to be these high celebrities that you have to listen to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I listen to them as well, but I like finding the old average Joe like me and just listen to their stories. And so, but also, with the internet, find something you can read about, find a group, organization that you're going through something, and find a group or an organization. They've already been through it, and they can help you get through it because they've already been there. The sad thing is a lot of people today think I'm the only one that's going through this, especially younger people. And you're going, are you kidding? People have been going through this stuff for a million years now. So, and here's the biggest thing that I've learned is to stay motivated. When you're down and out, here's two good things I like to do. One, I had to swallow my sinful pride and learn to ask for help, because when I was younger, before I got hurt, I was thinking everything was put on my shoulders. I had to do it because my brothers weren't mechanically inclined to do all this stuff. So I had to do it. And so since being injured, I've had to learn to ask for help. So swallow that big sinful pill pride. And another thing, again, how can you be non-motivated when you got Ricardo trying to steal the show for you every time? When I feel bad, sometimes I'll take him just to go walk around in the store, just to watch people explode, because there's my Ricardo. They won't know my name for nothing, but they know Ricardo. And so of course, someone tried to explain, it's just like having a baby. They go to the baby. And I said, I understand that. So, and don't get me wrong, I still have my days, but I try to get out as fast as possible because I don't want to be in that dark area like I was at one time.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever underestimate the power of a dog. I really, really don't in any situation, because I think me and John were talking about it. With me and you were talking about it. I think it was me and John the other day. Maybe, not quite sure. I was talking to somebody about it, guys. Anyway, and we were basically saying, it's the unconditional love. That was it. It was John, and he was like, you can kick a dog, you can walk out of the house for 3 hours, you can come back, and the dog's still damn well excited to see you.
Oh yeah. Another man explained it to me that he knows his dog loves him more than his own wife does, and he said because if I take my wife and I put her in the trunk of a car and I come back an hour later, she's cussing me out. So, but I put my dog back there for an hour, come back, he's ready to love all over me because he's glad to see me.
Why are you sticking your wife in the boot of the car, man?
He didn't say he did that. He said if I did that.
I don't know. Hey, GWG people, thank you for joining me early, buddy. I really appreciate it. And I will. I'm going to check out your video properly. I didn't get the chance to earlier on, so I'm going to have a little look at it and then I'll give it a share. So, okay. Oh, that's a good one. What is your favorite topic to speak about? There we go. I've got him now.
One speech that I kind of variate from, and I'll neither call it the 3 P's of perseverance, and I'll talk about 3 P's, but then I'll turn that around and call it my ABCs of perseverance. And so A is for you have to accept adversity, B, begin battling, and then C, conquer challenges. And so I'll use that as the main speech. And then I can, again, reevaluate or readjust it, and it can be called the 3 P's, and then I'll use different words for the same speech, basically.
Keeping it fresh.
I heard one speaker years ago, of course, he's been speaking a lot longer than me, and he says, I just have 3 speeches. That's what he said. He said, there's plenty of places and I can go to that hadn't heard my 3 speeches.
Awesome. Oops, I'm clicking on everybody. Ah. Okay. What was I going to say? Okay. Who? Because this is one for me as well. Just this is a personal interest one. Who are your favorite motivational speakers? Where have you got most of your? I wouldn't call it influence because I tend to think that people who want to do motivational stuff want to think of their own stuff as well. But who's been the most influential motivational speaker? I've heard you say Zig Ziglar quite a lot.
I really got hooked with Zig Ziglar with his books and listening to him some. And there's Dr. Norman Pell. He was about the same time frame with Zig Ziglar. More up to date, there's that guy, I can't think of his name now. He was born without arms and legs. I think he's from Australia.
Yes.
He got that book, Life Without Limits or something like that.
Yeah.
I bought his book, but I can't think of his name. Nick. Very
Nick, very weird surname, yes.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, so love listening with him.
He's great. I must admit, I do like him as well. Just to interrupt you, we have another guy on the sledge hockey team who's in a very similar situation, but he has slightly longer arms and slightly longer. Well, he's not amputated. He was born like it, so he's got one arm that's very short here. He's got a full arm on one side and two legs. One's very short, one's sort of just below the knee, I think. But obviously, just watching somebody like that is, ironically, he's a motivational speaker as well. My friend Andy Acko. He's and he's like much like you. He's just getting on with it, and I think that's the best way that you can be to say, guys behind me that this has just happened to, people that have just broke the neck or broke the back or whatever. If I can do this, you can do this, and I love that. I love that attitude.
I'm not too sure if I could do this, you can do this. That's a lot of pressure putting on someone, because what if something doesn't come back to help them do what needs to be done, and the other person saying, they're comparing themselves too much with that. And that's one thing, you can't compare your injury with someone else's, because again, you may get back the same movement, but you may not get back the same strength to be able to do things. Well, I got this friend of mine, his name is Bart Dotson, and we call him Super Quad. He got his neck broke diving in a swimming pool when he was 15 years old, and broke his neck. And they videotaped him getting out of his wheelchair into a normal van. Now, I have a lift that picks me up to get my van, but he didn't have a lift. So he transferred from his chair to the floor in the van. Then he put his chair in. Then he rolled around till he got to the driver's seat. And then he picked himself up. And then, hey, it's my brother calling. Everybody say hi to my brother. That's my phone ringing.
Bring him on the chat if you want, Okay, so yeah, basically I kind of worded that a little bit badly then. But yeah, I get what you're saying as well. And Kay has just asked, are your books on Amazon?
Books are on Amazon, yes. 5 again. Carlos got 5 of them. One of them, he gets to meet Santa Claus and Rudolph and helps pass out gifts. And but those, brother. Hey, I'm online. I'm on the internet to someone in Great Britain with Rachel.
Hello.
All right.
I'm English.
And so, but they are on Amazon. And one more play. And then there's another book I did about perseverance. Don't get that one. Someone was trying to tell me I had to put like a book out like every 6 months. So I rushed through to put this one out. It's called Persevere Past Your Paralysis. Don't get that one. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't get that one. It's green and gold. You'll see it. But then there's another one. I was told I had colon cancer 2 years ago. And so what I did is I kept a journal from the time that I was told I had colon cancer to the final end of everything. And I put it into a book, like a journal. It's called Cancer, the Blessings of Hope, Strength, or I'd have to go back and look it up now. But it's cancer, and it's the strength of hope, blessing, not something. So, but it's pretty much
me every time,
Yeah, written in again, like a journal for me to say Sunday, September, whatever it was, and then what happened on Sunday, Monday, the date, and everything. So it's written in like a journal form. Uh, it's not, broken down like in just bullet points. I mean, it's in paragraphs and everything, but talking about how I went through that system.
Yeah, see that one's a new one to me because you've not told me that one yet, or I wasn't listening very well.
No, I don't think we brought that one up.
Oopsies. Sorry about that. Okay. So guys, who in the chat? Let me just scroll back a little bit. So right, all my friends are poopy brains in the chat. So right, James, just for a bit of a giggle, are you up for this? Right. So I do this thing called the slug face. Right, and it looks a little bit like this. Yes, guys, I'm going to try and get him to do it just for you lot. All right. So, hey, Mike Vandy, thanks for joining us, buddy, and Mrs. Mike Vandy. So, just for this lot in the chat, because I do appreciate them coming in because they support me so much when I, attempt to mess up live streams like this. So, what you have to do for a slug face, buddy, is you have to pull your jaw into your neck, like so. And then you have to go slug face.
And say
so
what?
The chat,
what do you say?
Say slug face. So if you could do that, the chat will go mad.
I get I got my triple neck over here.
Do it. Dude's a natural.
Slug face.
Yes. Guys, what do you think? There you go. Everybody's like, slug face.
There you go.
Poopy brains. We resemble that remark. Yes, you do. So hang on a minute. My dad, let's put that on the screen now. My dad had colon cancer, the incurable one. They had to remove half his colon. He's been cancer-free for 13 years now. But when he eats, he has to be near the bathroom. I can imagine. That is...
and the spoiler alert, not that I'm saying go buy my book or anything, but I'll go ahead and tell you that I had 2 tests that said I had colon cancer. They did a CT that showed a blockage in part of my colon. And then, so with me being a quadriplegic, you got to clean out good, drinking all that mess and go to the bathroom. So since I had to do a regular colonoscopy then, because they want to go in to see exactly where everything was so they know where to remove that part of the colon. And when I woke up from that, you go down for like 40 minutes from that procedure. When I woke up, they told me there was nothing more they can do for me. There was no cancer found in me. So a miracle, baby. So, and
hey, I take it.
Yeah. In the book, I give it to, God performing miracles, but also believe in the power of being positive, so during that time frame, I hung around with nothing but powerful, positive people that had if you had something negative, say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that right now. I got to move on. People may not like this or may not understand it, but I had this one guy that we grew up together. We've been friends for 40 years. And one day he was negative. And I said, man, I don't have time for that. I kicked him out of my life during that frame. Now, we've come back to friends and everything since then, after everything was found out all right. But I didn't need his negative interfering with all the positivity I was receiving.
Do you know what, buddy? I totally agree with you, which is why I quite literally have half the people in the chat in my life on a regular basis. And as much as we're halfway across the world from each other most of the time, it's I like these guys because exactly that, they are positive, or they are positive towards you. They want you to do well. And I think when you surround yourself with those kind of people, you can go far. Don't get me wrong. Every so often, I think you need a bit of a kick in the butt. So say if you're being lazy or whatever in your own life, you need a bit of a kick in the butt then. But in the general, I totally agree that I would rather be surrounded by people who just want to see you do well, and they want to do well for themselves, and they're always trying to better each other and push each other. So
there's a positive way to help keep you accountable. They don't have to do it in a negative way to help keep you accountable. So,
Indeed, indeed. Hang on a minute. Let me just read this again.
This is awesome. This is awesome stream. On this StreamYard. It's the first time I've done.
Oh yeah. So
a little bit just so I can get a little idea, but it's pretty cool.
It is. It's also a lot easier. So I'm just doing it straight through the StreamYard. So yeah, it's I'm not actually watching my channel right now. I just checked it briefly when we started. But yeah, it's so much easier because I can do things like this, and I can do things like that, and I can do things like this. Oh, Big James.
Peace out, brother. I can't do the whole two. My 2 fingers, they have to do the whole hand. So, peace out. So, hey, now before we go any further, hey, Rach, tell us about your big adventure this weekend.
Oh.
This is amazing. Oh, it's because of not everybody gets to do this.
No, so okay, so this
not everybody gets to do what you're doing, but also not everybody's getting to participate in the other one. Now my mom's calling.
You want to get that first?
I'll let Mom say hello to y'all because she thinks this internet stuff is evil. She doesn't understand it.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna come back to your chat in a minute. So
yeah, I'm on the.
Didn't sound like you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking to the world here. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, world.
All right.
Hi, Mom.
Let me call you back in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll catch you a little later. Bye-bye.
All right. No, not that she thinks it's evil. She's 79 years old, and she's got the best looking flip phone you've ever seen.
Damn. Damn, girl.
Flip phone. So.
I love it. Okay, who else has just come into the chat? Hey, Raven, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Right, I was going to say something and I forgot. Never mind. Right, I'm just going to scroll back up the chat because a few people asked a few
well, you're going to tell them about your big weekend.
Oh, that was it. I'll do that while I'm scrolling. Okay,
right.
So guys, so this weekend, as you all know, the paralyzed hockey. If I've not rattled on about it enough already yet, we have the playoffs, the finals, to see who wins the championships in the UK. So bear in mind, there's not that many teams, but it's really important that we build the sport and stuff like that. So this is a major, major weekend, and I'm so going to enjoy it. And yes, I probably will film it and maybe vlog it, etc. But in between that, the bit that James doesn't know now. I'm going to surprise you with a bit now.
We need to in America we have breaking news and they have music go with it. So
hang on. Let me do it. I need to tire something. Let me do this properly then. Hang on. Hello, I'm Rachel Rawson, your host.
There you go.
Hi. In the news. For John, very important. Yep, that's what you have to do. You know, the music. So anyway, as I'm completely going off track here, I am representing once again the Great Britain women's team are doing a exhibition during the playoffs, and I get to represent my country again. Yay! There you go. Great Britain ice hockey. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's happening this weekend. Yes, lots of para ice hockey. It's going to be brutal. It is going to be bumper cars on ice trying to kill each other. I am praying to God that nothing gets broken because I could really do without that before I go to Canada next weekend after that. Also, guys, that's a good point. I'm going to plug that while I'm here, James, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So the weekend after that, I am off to Canada again, and John being so supportive. Go GB! So yeah, I can't wait for the ice hockey, and then I can't wait to go to Canada afterwards because I'm going to see John, and I'm going to see Susan, I'm going to see Stacey Morgan, I'm going to see loads of people. Hopefully we're meeting Viva Fry, which will be absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to be majorly fangirling there because he's just kind of gone really, really huge on YouTube. So yeah. So anyway, I'm going to scroll back into the chat and just have a little bit of a look. Pitbull, I will share your video on bullying, buddy, because I think it is important. Yep, I've just got to finish off watching it. So, what time are we on? Oh, 15 minutes. Let's go mad. So, guys, Shani is live after this at 9:30. Shani, are you still in the chat, sweets? Do you want to put on what the topic is for tonight on your channel and put your channel link in there, or John, if you can put a channel link in there, because she's obviously not a mod, so that might help. So, guys, that's the point as well. If you wouldn't mind terribly subscribing to James, that would very help him out, and he can help more people out.
Thank
Then,
you.
can't you?
Yes, thank you.
So, yep, obviously you've got all the links and stuff, which Kay and John and everybody else has been so helpful for putting in the chat. James should meet up with that Crohn's chick. Yes, I think.
I've been advised by Yankee and somebody else, or was it maybe it inspired John, maybe that they told me about her as well. They told me about you, and they told me about her as well, and 2 or 3 other people. So
me?
Yeah, it was all good. Not. I mean, it was 99% good. So.
Oh, Tim wants me to go to Australia. You know, one day, buddy, one day I might just do it. I might just turn up on your door and be like, right, are we having a pint then, or what? Okay, oops, I'm pushing more buttons. Yankee is all for the community. Yankee is all for the community, to be fair. He really is. He's a good guy. Don't tell him I said that, guys. I know he might still be watching, but don't tell him. Also, he was hyper as hell earlier. What the heck? In John's live stream. Okay, is there anything else that I need to say first? I've said that. Oh, yeah. So let me just do this, and then we're going to come back to you, James, just to finish off nicely and let you plug away, dear. Yes. So on next week's stream, I probably should do this again, but I'm going to do it now. Yeah, same difference. So Shawnee hopefully will be coming onto my channel, and we're going to have a little bit of a bit of a fun stream. So we'll have some of that. Guys, does anybody have any more questions for James? Because the more I talk to the guy, the more I find out, and the more incredible it gets, you know? So
I see Happy Trails asking James up to left, are the biblical something?
Oh, yeah. Let me just find it. I saw that earlier on. Hang on a second.
Are the biblical interviews yours too? I was on a program, a friend of mine put together a 17 biblical principles of success, and it has 17 different principles of what the Bible says about success. And he interviewed 3 people per principle, and he asked me and 2 others to be on the perseverance. So I'm on disc 15, if that's what you're asking about, in the 17 biblical principles of success.
Wow. I need that one writing down. No idea about it. let's do another chat between me and you. We can pencil that one in for discussion.
There you go.
That was one I was going to ask you earlier on. Just let's finish off with that one. I'm trolling timeout. Time me out, please, John. Pretty please. Only Claire Jones. You can't troll. Troll harder. Troll hard, dear. Sorry, I was going to say. So, where do you think you would be? So, say if the accident hadn't have happened to the accident happening, what do you think maybe you would have done with your life between then and now? What do you think the differences would be?
Of course, we don't know the whole span, but I really believe that they say only 1% of the people that play sports make it pro, 1 to 2%. All right, so the chances of me getting there is astronomically not in my favor. So, of course, again, at that time, I wasn't a great scholarly. I just made enough the grades good enough just to graduate, basically. But I always thought that if I didn't get to the baseball to professional, I would have been a mechanic like my stepdad, again, who I consider my real dad. But I think I would have been a mechanic like him. Working on automobiles. As a fun thing about that is, even though I can't do the work, I used to, of course, all this newer stuff, I have no idea nowadays, but I used to be able to sit out in the yard with my younger brother and friends and hear them working on their cars. And then I could tell them, hey, you need to go fix whatever. And I could tell them. But now all this new stuff, I have no idea anymore.
That's I think that's the nice thing is that when you can actually I think that's some advantages when you can actually sit down and be like, no, you need to do that. Just order people about it. It sounds good to me.
So, hey, a great story here is I believe we should be able to help others whenever we can. We can't help all the time because if we throw ourselves away to help everybody else, we're neglecting ourselves, and so we can't help all the time, but just whenever we can. So I used to, and I still do this. People would throw things on the side of the road that people would pick up and get rid of or whatever. And if it looks like it's something I could fix, even though my fingers would work, I'll guide a friend to tell him what to do if we can get it fixed. So one of my best finds one time, a guy was throwing a lawnmower away, had it out in the front yard to be thrown away. And so I told his friend to say, hey, put it in the trunk of my car and I'll take it home. Well, while I was getting it in my car, this guy yells out outside. He says, it doesn't run. The guy told me, he said, it doesn't run, Jay. Just put it in the trunk of my car. We can get it fixed. And the guy yells again, it doesn't work, like that. So we took it to my younger brother. We got over there, unscrewed the cap and everything. It looked, didn't have no gasoline in it. My brother poured gas in it, and it started. No wonder it wouldn't run. It had that stuff in there called gasoline was missing. But that was my biggest find. And actually what I did is, again, I took that, found a family that couldn't afford to go buy one and gave it to them to help do their yard. And they used it for 2 years before it finally conked out.
Hey, you know what? That's it's just awesome, dude. It's awesome. I'm trying to think of better words, but I don't need any better words. It's just awesome. Good stuff. Okay, last question for you before we wrap up, because Shawnee's on in 8 minutes, and I don't want to interrupt her because she does so well. She gets lots of information out there, which is always good. So, guys, if you've not checked out that Crohn's chick, please check her out because she's got a lot of knowledge herself. You know what I mean? Like, James has as well. I tend to waffle and talk a bit of crap. I know a little bit of stuff, but, not so much. That's why I'm sat talking to these guys so I can absorb it like a little sponge. So, my last question, guys. Okay. So, the guys in the chat, James, have you got any motivational, inspirational thoughts for them to keep them going?
My biggest thing would tell anybody that's in the chat, anybody wherever else, is as long as you're moving forward, I don't care if it's in a snail's pace and you're just barely creeping along. I said, those saying, people say, well, I've took 2 steps forward, but I seem to take 1 step back every day. Cool. You're still 1 step ahead of the game then. All right. And even if you're moving in a snail's pace, as long as you're going forward to whatever you're trying to achieve, then go. If it takes longer to get to where you're going than what you wanted, that only shows you how bad you really want it. You go, I wanted to get this thing done in 6 months, move on. Well, now 6 months is not done. How bad do you want it? So get it done in 8 months, or you can stop at 6 months and quit. The choice is yours. But again, as long as you're moving forward, you're in great shape.
Awesome. I think that's quite a nice little thing to say, buddy. I think that works very well.
Rachel, I think you've done an excellent job today. And I think that the chat thing, y'all have been great. I appreciate you coming in.
I appreciate them too, because without them, I haven't got a damn live stream. It's just me and you having a natter.
That's right. That's
right. Last time I looked, let's say it was a long time ago. I'm a girl trolling. Claire Jones, what are you talking about tonight? Are you trolling away, or what's going down with you, girl? What's going down with you? I don't know. Anyway, James, shall we wrap it up there, buddy? I think we're all good. I think we've covered a nice little amount there. Any more plugs you want to get in? Any more future things that you're doing?
No, just going to start that podcast coming up on September 11th. And if anybody's seen anything that I said is starting September 11th, again, main reason is that's the date that I broke my neck, and that's a good time to start something new. Started my life new in September 11th, and that's a good day to start that. And I started my YouTube channel last year, September 11th. So if I ever got married, it had to be on September 11th so I can remember it.
That was it. Yeah, I remember you saying that actually. September the 11th for you is a totally more meaningful date than obviously 9/11.
Well, yes, I tell people, not that I'm comparing, I'm trying not to, but I had my 9/11, 9/11 way before the country did.
That
And
was the saying. That was the one. That was the one.
so,
I love it, buddy. I love it. James, you know what? I've loved every minute of this. This has been absolutely awesome, buddy, to talk to you. Guys in the chat, obviously, please subscribe to James. It would really help him out, and he does have so many, wonderful things to say to keep us all going as well. So it would be very much appreciated. Also, I presume 9/10 of you're subscribed to me, but if you're not, god damn it, get subscribed.
well, what are you waiting on?
Yeah, what are you doing? Sat there typing in the chat, giving me abuse and getting people to slug face. Get subscribed.
There you go. Jump in there.
There we go. And Kay's just put the links up again. And John Awesome's just put Shawnee's That Crone's Chicks link up, guys. So let's do a raid, actually. Let's do a Rachel. No, actually, let's do should we do a Rachel and James raid? Let's do that. Yeah, guys. So hashtag straight into Shawnee's and do a hashtag Rachel and James raid with 17,000 exclamation marks just to be irritating. All right, guys. James, just hang on before you go anywhere. I just want to have a little word with you when we're done. So
right.
Just hang on in there.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yep. So thank you so much, guys. And yep, next week me and John are talking a lot of crap with Shawnee. So feel free to come and join us. It should be a fun one. You know, boozing at 6 o'clock in the morning for her and like 10 o'clock at night for me. So it's all good. Right, guys. Have yourselves a great day, night, morning, wherever the heck you are. Just enjoy it. Go out and make the most of it. And James, do you want to say anything else before we go?
I'll end my part like I end with most of my stuff is do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.
Boom. All right,
Boom,
buddy.
baby.
Whoa,
Boom.
been attacked by a moth. Jesus Christ. Okay, right. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you all again soon. See you later. Bye. There we go.